One. Hello, adventurers. Welcome back to the Quiet Kenku, episode 18. Ooh,
Everything's
all right.
bad.
Everything's bad. So things are crazy. Okay. So last session was nuts. Last session the party started to gather about.
Everyone's sad.
Everyone's sad, sadness everywhere. Um Fuck. That was the session where Seedling and Sapling went on the date, right?
I think so, yeah.
Wait, yeah.
Yeah, because
And then
not everything was
Sapling and
To
sad.
the
Orange went on
to the
a
sketchy resistance place.
datier date.
Yeah. Okay, so not everything was sad.
We had
Um,
gay people.
It
yeah,
We
there was.
I
started
got
good, and then it
I set
got
up a date for
sad.
tomorrow.
Yeah, dates were set up between Chiron
People
and old. How would you describe your relationship to this
um
person?
uh
Like a rival of
old
sorts?
rival friend,
Okay.
longtime
Frenemy?
friend, also rival.
Okay. Frenemy, yeah, sort of thing,
Yes,
yeah.
kind of.
Okay. And so there's a date there. There was a date between Seedling and Sapling. Went to a very nice restaurant owned by the Stone Giant Man, but also went to a sketchy resistance place where the possible old leader of the resistance, but also owner of the bar Reese, talked to you a little bit. Real sketchy, but it was okay. Um, you found out that Richard Hardy, the sort of radio host, merchant, he has many faces, many titles, both literally and figuratively. Um, and you met him at your base. He met you there as he was spying on you, and then he had a conversation with um, Seth and Sapling. In return, he said that he would warn you if Peleus, the man who you found out was possibly after you, he came into town. You also found out that you are more than likely not fugitives as you thought, but that man specifically is out to get you as he blames you for his basically getting demoted and
I think he's
can't
been
think of the word.
demoted all the way. I think he
Yeah.
because of the murder.
Oh yeah, that was a thing too. He murdered multiple people who were demoting him. So now he's been like there's a manhunt out
Extra
for him.
demoted.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's that. Um, Sapling, you had promised Seth previously that you would wormify him. You'd be like, "Hey, bro, here's a worm. Join us." And oh, it got dark in here. Whoa. And then there's lights now. Whoa, this is insane. Oh, there's a person behind me. What is going on? Oh my god. Okay, that was weird. Anyway, it's crazy. Anyway, so uh it'd be like, "Hey bro, I'll wormify you." And then Sapling was like, "Hey bro, I'm not gonna wormify you anymore." Seth was like, "That's not cool, bro." And so Hardy then pops in Seth's head and says, "Hey bro, if he won't wormify you, come out here, I got you." Well, Seth all of a sudden he was like, "You know what, Sapling, you're cool, you're fine, don't want your worm anymore." A little confusing, but he said okay. He went and told Grandpa and Chiron, "I'm not going to go with you on your little trip today anymore. I've got some stuff. I'm just going to chill." In Chiron, you went and got sad. That's when you made your date, went over some old case files. And then Seth, you're like, "Hey, I'm going to go out in the woods." You don't tell anyone. You just go out in the woods. And you see Richard Hardy there, and he's like, "Hey, bro," on a silver platter, also in a mechanical arm, he says is from the doctor. You recognize it as the thing that cut you up. And on the end of it, in the hand, the palm, is a worm. He also then, Richard, sent Sapling a message like, "Hey, bro, if you're not going to worm, I'm going to worm." And then Seth, you went, "I'm going to eat the worm. I don't know, maybe." And then Sapling came rushing and you went, "Oh no, but I need the worm. I need it." And so you went and you rushed and you grabbed the worm right before Sapling could. And you went, Nom," and it's in your face. And now there's an emote of that. a gif of that, I guess. Um, yeah, that's it. And that's where we left off. Well, actually, kind of left off. Sapling and Seth, you had a little bit of a conversation. Things are tense. In Chiron, we'll say this. I think you were walking up about the time that all of this
I
started.
was,
So,
yes.
uh, you're approaching and you see Sapling and Seth. Very tense standoff. Edna, for your part, you were back at this point. You were in the house at this point. So if you want to appear at any point here, you can. Um, but that is where you would have been at this point, because I know your memory was a little fuzzy on where you left off. So you were in the house at some point. But yes, in Karen, you are approaching and you see the two of them stand off at the edge of the woods.
Um, it's quite late. Why are you two outside? It's not all that late. It's like mid-afternoon. It's like dinner time.
It's fine.
Basically.
He's old.
Yeah, he's old.
It's late for him. I have nothing to say.
No reason. We should probably head back in, right, Sapling?
hmm
All right then. I'm gonna walk past them and into the building.
Good idea.
No insight here.
Going through it a bit too much.
Heard.
Okay. So you all go back inside? Okay. So what do you do at this point, as nothing is wrong whatsoever? Do you go back up to your individual rooms?
Well, I definitely go back up to my room. I need to rest for a second. Probably put some tea on, get a book, continue my research in a definitely not distracting myself way.
For sure. For sure.
Well,
It makes
I'll
sense.
go back to my room and I'll be definitely not stressed about the fact that I know where Seth resides and I know he's gonna go up there and probably speak his truth. I'm just gonna rest.
Okay. Um, Sapling, as you go to your room, and once you kind of settle down, you notice something. On the bedside table, there is something there that wasn't when you left the building. There is a small stone with a few runes engraved into it. You would recognize this, as they are pretty common nowadays, as a sending stone. There is only one, and usually where there's one, there is a second somewhere else.
That's interesting.
And
I
I'll say
only
with
have a vague idea of what a sending stone is.
sending stone basically
It's like a
allows.
telephone.
It's basically like a telephone. It follows the same rules as the sending spell. 25 words, um, per
Once a
use,
day.
once a day. Um, I'll say less so once a day for. I'll say for these in particular, there's not really a limit I'm gonna put on it. It's again pretty common in this world nowadays to have these that are a little better, a little more advanced. They're basically just like a, as long as you stay within 25 words a message, you can use it an unlimited amount of times, and the person on the other end can respond likewise. Um, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Underneath it, you see a piece of paper folded. Do you take a look?
Sure.
So you lift it, take a look, and opening the paper, you see in a very hastily written, very scratchy script, but still legible. You see it say, "In case you change your mind."
I'm gonna eat a rock.
Gonna
Get
eat
me
the
out of
rock?
here. No, 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 no. It's just bad for your mental health to say that you're gonna kill yourself. So I'm gonna eat a rock.
Okay, true. Okay. So you now have that in your possession.
Yay.
Okay. And Seth, you're the last one that was out there. Where are you going? To in Chiron's room?
His corner
His
of in
corner.
Chiron's room, as he usually does.
Okay. All right. Well, it is about mid-afternoon. If you had to gauge, probably about 5 or 6. So mid to late afternoon. Um, okay. So at this point, is there anything you guys want to do for the rest of today? Or do you just want to move on to the next? Anything specific? It could be downtime activity, it could be what have you.
At some point before Chiron goes to bed, Seth's gonna kind of look over at him. How'd it go?
Oh, it went fine.
Inciting that.
I don't have proficiency in deception. I have proficiency in persuasion, but it definitely didn't go fine.
24.
I don't even have to roll. My highest would be 22, so yeah, it didn't go fine.
Obviously not. What went wrong?
I didn't really find what I was looking for in the records, though I did reconnect with somebody. I'm going to see him tomorrow, catch up.
Good luck. Sucks you didn't find what you wanted, though. What were you looking for exactly?
I was looking for something to help you with your what you're trying to do. I was looking for information to help.
I, that's nice of you and all, but I don't help with it. I doubt those documents would really have much on a location or anything like that.
Well, they definitely used to. There's somebody in the city who probably knows, though they're much too important for me to ask.
Important or not, I don't think they'd take kindly to you asking around.
Likely not. And do you have anything to tell me about what happened while I was gone?
No.
That I will insight. That's a 26.
only 20.
I don't. You don't have to lie to me.
Mean. I'm not. I don't have anything I need to tell you.
Do you have anything you'd like to tell me?
No, but are you gonna make me?
No. I do think this group could benefit from some more trust in each other. I might have something for that.
I mean, if I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, it's something silly that some uh members of the church do in while learning their craft. It's just a silly trust exercise, and I'll explain in more detail at breakfast.
All right. When are we doing this?
Probably tomorrow before before my before I go see the before I go see my old friend. There we go. I did it. I did the talking thing.
All right.
Where in the room exactly is in Chiron right now?
Uh, he's probably at like a small table with some pretty big books about the nature of sentience and inorganic matter, uh, and in a big ol' armchair with some tea to the side.
Okay. Seth is going to, not sneakily whatsoever, go over and open in Chiron's bag and take out his paint.
Put it back when you're done with it.
Okay.
And he's gonna take off the cloak he's been wearing for a little bit, lay out his shirt, and start painting the symbol of the Way of Long Death Monk on his new clothes.
Yay.
All right. All right. Well, anyone else have anything they'd like to do for the remainder of the day? No? Okay.
I'll
Oh, yes.
I'll send you something
Okay.
for fun.
All right. Let's see. All right. Well, um, I will, after you send me this, I'm going to have you do something for me in Chiron. Um, Specifically because you said you were doing some more research. Same topic of research as before.
Yeah, it's like my through the week research thing.
Okay. I will have you do me a, I would say I don't know exactly what check to have you do there. I'm going to say for this one, just a flat intelligence check.
Okay. Oh, not great. It is a 7.
Your mind is a bit clouded from everything, and the fact that you know Seth is lying about something on top of it. It's all just kind of, it's a bit much on your mind, and then the reading from earlier. So it's just kind of not super able to focus, trying to distract yourself. But um yeah. Um okay. And I will say that is a thing you can do, the thing you sent me. That is
Yay.
doable. So, yeah. Okay. So the morning comes, and Seth, something you will note once you do get up is that Olakas is gone. He was kind of hanging around, and even once you had gotten back and gone back to Chiron's room the night before, he was still there, but at this point he has left. Um, the rest of the other adventuring group you're staying with are kind of just out doing their duties around the place as you see them most mornings, cleaning things up, um, making sure things are in good working order. Um, and the day is yours. There is some breakfast that's been made. Um, Nothing fancy, but it'll work. And so, what do you all want to do?
Well, over breakfast, I say to the group that's gathered, our group, I feel like we haven't really gotten to know each other very much, considering that we've been traveling together for some time. A, a little less time in the case of Edna. And I've prepared a little spell to maybe help us get to know each other better, build some trust between us. I It's the spell of Zone of Truth, and I don't really use it often. I don't usually have it prepared, but it will make sure that we tell the truth to our any questions that we can ask to each other, and can use it as a fun little game to play between us.
Oh, that sounds fun.
I have played a game like this before, and I cannot say I am excited. But I will go along. It is good trust building exercise.
Yes, exactly. I'm hoping we can build some more trust between us.
Yes. I will be truthful before it goes up. I hate everything about this. But
Do I have to?
Well, you don't have to, but it's it'll be it's a fun exercise, and I feel like things may have been a little tense yesterday for some reason. I felt like you were having some sort of issue before I came back, and I'd really appreciate it if we could help resolve it in some way.
Okay. I'm with Edna. I don't like it, but I'll do it.
And Ulrich, what about you? Are you on board, as they say? Oh,
Ghost, you're muted. They might be dead.
They may have
they
died.
might be.
Can you hear us, Ghost?
Ulrich is both on board. Ulrich is both on board and not on board. Schrodinger's
Oh no,
Ulrich.
Schrodinger's Ulrich is back!
Oh no!
No! Hang on, let me get my spirit box. Ghost, can you hear us? Are you here? Are you
No.
friendly?
How many?
What?
Oh,
We summoned them.
I'm here. I've been here. It's just my headphones suck, so I can't hear well.
Fair.
we asked if you would were game for the Zone of Truth having fun.
If Ulrich is.
If Ulrich is not
If Ulrich is involved,
is on board.
yes.
Okay, got it. So after breakfast, I suppose we meet in maybe just in somewhere.
I mean,
We
there is because there's like a radius on it, right? Like a area.
yeah,
that
there's a
covers
15-foot radius.
15-foot radius. Okay, so I mean, you could get a comfortable space, so you're not all cramped in.
Oh yeah, I can
In
gather some
say,
armchairs from my my library.
yeah. Honestly, the library probably wouldn't be a bad place to do it. It's a decent sized space, lots of sitting spaces.
Yep.
So yeah, you could set up in there. Mood
Yes,
lighting as well.
get a little circle of comfy armchairs, because that's like all I have in my section of the Bastion. It's all comfy armchairs.
Oh yeah.
Just leave a spot open.
And a very large pillow for you.
Yay!
All right.
All
So you
right, is
Seth
gather.
sits in this chair entirely incorrect. Like
Fair
half
enough.
upside down, kind of incorrect.
What are you, bisexual?
Yes.
And then I'm going to cast a spell.
Okay.
And I choose to fail my saving throw, obviously.
Does anyone choose to fight the saving throw?
What's the saving throw?
It's charisma.
Yeah. Now, yeah.
I
keep
will
in mind-
know if you succeed or fail.
Yeah.
Correct.
Edno choose to fail.
Okay.
I don't think she has a reason to do it.
And reminder to everyone, you can be evasive and still be truthful.
Correct.
Yeah, how?
You just cannot outright lie.
You can't outright lie, but you can still tell like half-truths and be like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering how much of a lie of omission is possible. Not that I want to lie.
all of the lie of omission is possible.
That's so loser.
It is a second level spell. But anyways, does anybody choose to fight the saving throw?
No.
He tried. But it was an @1, and I don't have a high enough plus for any of that.
Damn.
No, the save is a 16, so.
It seems like everyone fails then.
So, Edna, what were you doing before we swept you up to start us off?
I was traveling and trying not to get into too much trouble, but it changed.
suppose we do get in a lot of trouble.
It's more fun. You see, you tell me to ask people questions, and now I don't know what to do.
I have a proposition.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Not in character.
Oh.
I have a suggestion. Not a
Yeah.
proposition, a suggestion. I
Yeah.
feel like it'll be a lot less awkward if we kind of go in an order because I feel
I
like
can
there's
agree.
gonna be a
Yes.
lot of sitting in silence if we don't organize.
Fair
I
enough.
can agree. How
Let's
about
roll
this?
initiative.
Honestly, yes. Let's roll an initiative. Just use your normal initiative mod. Actually, you know what? No. Here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna roll initiative using your charisma modifier.
Amazing.
Sorry guys.
It's the same
Sorry
thing.
guys.
So you
The
Never
just
first one
mind.
was a freebie before we get
yeah.
before it got awkward a little bit. Oh, I actually
D20.
rolled really well.
Okay, so
I rolled
D20
really
plus
horrible.
charisma. Here we go.
After I bragged, I shouldn't have bragged, or I should have bragged afterwards.
What do we do if we got the same number?
Uh,
Roll off.
yeah, just a roll off.
Oh, and it doesn't even matter because I was first in initiative anyways, so that was my
Yeah.
Perfect. The
question.
dice are
What'd
telling
you
a
get?
story.
I got a 1.
I got a 15.
Okay.
Nice. Oh, this is the first scenario I've had a natural 1.
I'm just typing it out in order. Excuse me. So Seth was before Edna?
Yeah,
Okay. Uh,
Edna's
yeah,
got no
it's everybody.
riz.
Okay.
So it's
So I'll say,
Ulrich.
yeah, Edna, you've already, or not Edna, and Chiron, you've already gone. So Ulrich, I would say on anybody's turn, if you can't think of a question, you can pass, or you can ask whoever you want. Whatever. Is there any other rules we want to put in place for it to make it go
Yeah,
smoother? You think?
the turn is who is asking the question, not who's getting asked the question. Just so
Correct.
everyone is clear on that.
Correct. The
Yeah.
turn is who is asking the question. Yeah. So Ulrich, you can either pass or you can ask somebody a question.
My mic was muted. I'm gonna pass.
Okay. So Sapling, you are up.
Yay. Does it have to be asking one person something, or can you ask the group?
You can ask the group.
I would say the
Yay.
group's okay.
Okay. Well, this seems like it'll be fun, but also hard to start, so I'll just ask an easy question. What are all your favorite colors?
Aw, that's
Well,
cute.
I'm quite fond of purple, obviously.
Uh, red is my favorite, I suppose.
I like yellow.
Same as Edna.
I didn't know that. That's very sweet.
That's so nice.
Hey, that is a good question to a good icebreaker question. Okay, Seth.
Ulrich,
Yes?
what were you doing before that whole mission we all met on?
What was I doing before that?
Yeah,
Um, from what I can recall, I was tending to duties at my church beforehand, before I joined and met up with you guys.
All right. So now, Edna.
I'm scared. What?
Well, I didn't really say anything yesterday, but I saw you all come in later in the day. And all specifically you three, she points at Chiron, Seth, and Sapling. You three seemed very upset yesterday. What happened yesterday?
Muted. You're muted.
You're muted, Callie.
Well, I went to the church offices and reviewed some of my old cases.
Just, shit with Hardy. Saul.
I don't remember most of yesterday, so I can't really tell you.
You know
Well,
why you didn't.
All of that was honest as far as Zone of Truth is concerned.
it was
Excuse
both
me.
telling and not telling at the same time. That's why I hate this game.
Listen, I was completely honest.
Well, Sapling, how was you were gone a lot of the day today? How was it? I saw you going with a seedling and then seedling again, and then also with Ulrich. It was you went out and came back in quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, I had a busy day. It was very fun. I seed seedling and showed me some new place that I hadn't been to. That was fun. And then I took Ulrich out to a nice restaurant to talk about things. Well, this is the honesty game. There's no point of being secretive. We're totally an item now. So that's cool. That's what that was.
Oh, congratulations! I
Mm.
suspected as much, truly. The insider.
Mm.
The insider.
Hmm. So
Ulrich.
now it's over to Ulrich. If you have anything, also, I'm curious if you didn't. I saw you were having a sound issue. If you haven't figured it out yet, I might have a solution.
I kind of managed to figure it out. I just turned
Okay.
up the output setting on my headphones in settings to
Hmm.
see if it works. Seems to be
Okay.
working just fine.
Okay, that's good. So it's over to you if you have any questions for anyone. Anything burning a hole in your pocket.
Well, if I did, let me see. Seth, this is this is a very serious and important question that must be attended to. Did you enjoy the fish I brought you?
Oh, you actually kind of scared me for a second. Of course,
I'm
it's
sorry.
fish.
Yay.
I like any fish. Haven't had any yet that I didn't like, except for the one that slapped me.
That one fish. But thank you for your honesty.
Not like we have much of a choice, right?
That is very true.
Hmm. You know, that fish Ulrich that you had brought Seth, it did taste like love. There was care behind it. Seth,
I've
the fish that slapped you, that tasted like hatred. That's that that's the difference there.
The fish
I
that
love that.
slapped you tasted like despair.
The snack that fights back.
The snack that fights back. Goldfish.
Oh, if laughing wouldn't hurt so much, I would.
Oh no.
No, that was funny though. Okay. Oh shit, who's next?
Me.
You. Okay.
Me. Well, since everything's out in the open now, which I hope that was okay to share. I probably should have asked first. But anyway, Ulrich, when
Yes.
did you realize you liked me?
Okay. Um, I suppose during that conversation back at the docks, when you had asked me to write everything down for you, that's when I believe I started taking an interest in you.
Aww.
I gotta, yeah.
I love it. I need more.
In Chiron. Anyone you ever liked like that? It's gross.
Well, it's a complicated. There is someone that I have for quite some time, but I'm sure that it's not uh, requited. So you live as long as I do, and you experience things. So
All right.
Okay. Well then, over to Edna.
We're gonna pass.
In the pace. Okay. We got in Chiron. Also, we will keep doing this until you guys
yes,
don't want to anymore. So
Oh,
yeah.
exactly. Uh,
It'll get serious eventually.
I don't.
Listen, it's fine. I don't care.
uh, Sapling and Seth. Y- the Richard. He asked to talk to you. What was it he wanted to ask you about? If you don't mind me asking, it's
That's complicated. He he wanted to speak to me about the kinds of matters of which I don't usually remember.
You want to talk to me about the doctor.
uh,
About what he did to me.
I believe it's past Ulrich.
Yes. So Ulrich, if you have any questions, you may ask them. If not, you may pass.
I think I may pass because. Wait, okay, actually. Sapling. If this man's alive. I don't know.
Here.
Uh. Yeah, no, hold on. I think this is. When did you get that creature?
Sorry?
No, like the little creature.
My cat?
No. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Yes, I guess your cat. I'll just leave that for a different day. Your cat.
Well, I think you were there. We went to a pet store and I didn't know what kind of animal to get because I'd never had a pet before. But the guy at the store with all the like cousins uh bought me a cat.
I believe I was. I just vaguely remember that, but thank you. That's wonderful. He's hiding in a
Yes.
corner. Don't mind him.
I believe it is my turn. um, oh, Edna, what was your first impression of all of us?
Well, let's see. In Chiron, we hit it shit when I first held a watch and you were staying in tent before tent got exploded. And I don't know, he was nice, old man. I liked him. He seemed sweet. Seth and I bonded over a shared dislike of small woodland creature who shall not be specified at this time. I'm going to be honest, I don't remember much from Old Reach at the time, so I cannot say anything about you, but you seem nice from what I've seen of you now. And Sapling, you are complicated. On one hand, first impression good, but current impression kind of weird. So it's a little bit of a clash. And I think that's all I have to say.
Hmm, that was insightful.
Sapling. No. No, not sapling. I don't even know what to call you. You know what I'm talking about. Why did you lie to me?
You're gonna have to be more specific.
So you've lied more than once. Great. Good to know. Why did you lie and convince me to take one?
That in the first place, that was done out of selfishness. And then we tried to stop you several times. Let's put that on the record.
That's
Does
not
that satisfy
answering
you?
why.
What'd you say?
That's not answering the why.
What is there more to say? It's just it was it was stupid. It was selfish. It was that's it.
What were you hoping to get out of it?
If, like,
Well, I don't know the entire detail, but you got Seth to do something. You wanted Seth to do it at some point, and then you didn't. Why?
why did we stop wanting him to do it?
That's half the question, yeah.
It, empathy?
Hmm.
It took a bit for that to set in.
Well, I won't grill you on all of it, unless someone else wants to grill you. Then I'll help in grilling you. But otherwise, I'll step back here.
Seth, do you think that Richard has information about the doctor that could help you?
I don't think he does. I know he does. He'll pull out the arm. He knows where he is.
Oh, if you need to, I can talk to him about that.
Make another deal with him.
If need be.
No. We just have to find a way to get it out of him without a deal. I don't trust him.
I don't really either.
It's on you, Ulrich.
What was I being asked real quick?
No,
No,
it's
No,
your
it's your
turn.
turn
Ask.
to ask.
Ah, I'm not. Uh, okay. To be honest, I don't know. Ulrich is probably blind. His perception's bad. And if you're there,
Nope. I may have. Are you choosing to pass in that case?
for now, yes, I'll pass.
Okay. Okay.
Yay.
Sapling.
Well, not yay, but I get to not,
Not yay.
not yet, but it's my turn. Seth, why, after someone who you know and maybe not trust anymore, but someone you know didn't want to didn't want you to have access to something, why did you trust someone who you've said you don't trust, a shifty, shady, robotic con man, to give you this thing? Why did that seem like a good idea to you?
Not that I trusted him. It's that someone went back on their promise. And he gave me access to something that you went back on.
Mhm.
You made a promise that it would help.
And after we said that was a lie and that it wouldn't help you, You didn't believe
How did I
that?
know if that was a lie?
Why would it be a lie? You don't lie to make yourself look like a bad person.
Think is Edna here?
Yeah.
I think it's your turn.
Yeah, that
Seth
was
did
kind of
ask a question.
No,
That's true. Seth
wait,
did
it's
ask.
Seth's turn.
No, he technically asked a question, and he's
Yeah.
just counting it.
Ah.
I wasn't entirely sure if the interaction was done or not.
Fair. Seems that it is.
Seth, what were you trying to get from Sapling and then the Hardy man? Did you get it? I'll stick with the what it is.
Do I stick with the what it is?
I like to stick with what it is, if you don't mind. Otherwise, you can just answer if you got it or not. Since you technically don't have to tell me.
I did get it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
In Chiron, what facial expression are you holding at that question?
I'm confused and concerned.
Okay.
About what Edna
I
was
don't
like
look
with
like
Edna.
I do right now. Right now
No,
I'm
you don't.
smiling because this is great.
What were you saying about Edna?
Edna's also giving you a concerned vibe, asking you this.
He's gonna sigh, seeing that both party mom and dad are concerned.
You both know we're not talking to Sapling already. I got one of them.
Ill.
I was promised it would help me, not hurt anyone else.
I would rather it be you, not. I'd rather it be you who is hurting us than something not you.
No, for you. I won't do anything like that.
You might not. The no offense to you, said to the worm in Sapling's brain, but they only happen when Sapling needs to be safe, be when we need to fight. In stressful situations. You might not hurt us, but if you're worried you might, might do it for you.
Seth, all of a sudden you start to feel really nauseous. You don't get sick. You don't ever get sick. And it's something you remember the doctor talking about. It's this your regeneration. It keeps you from getting sick often. It's a handy little thing. But you just start to feel this overwhelming nausea. And your head starts to spin.
He kind of half falls off the chair, kind of moving away from them.
Is everything all right, Seth?
Is everything okay? And it's gonna close like half the distance.
I don't feel good.
Oh, let me see if I can help. I'm going to go over, and I'm gonna try lesser lesser restoration. Because
Okay.
that's what I did last time. He didn't feel so good.
Yeah. And just remind me specifically what that does.
I think it gets rid of one condition or disease.
Okay. I would say, Seth, you start to feel a little better, but there's still this feeling in your head. The nausea starts to fade, but you just still feel not well. And Sapling, it's about that time you start to feel this tether. Similar to when you were traveling through the woods and you were looking for something like yourself. You started to search. But this time you're not looking, and you just feel it. This tether between you and Seth. A familiarity, there's something there. And you know what it is. It's this thing. It's beginning to burrow. This is how it starts. You know that.
Take it easy, okay? I say, not quite to Seth.
You'll know something?
Well, naturally, but not that
Then
much.
talk.
It's just probably, setting in. Probably.
I see. Then it's gonna like look at Seth. Is it still you, or am I talking to something else now?
Seth, you are still very much conscious of yourself.
I you feel me.
Good.
You didn't even want to try to be friends with. You didn't even want to try to be friends with us. I say directly to the the sapling, the other centaur. That's been a while.
That's not true.
Why didn't you wait? Why? He's already.
This was suggested a while ago. And a while ago, we decided that it was a bad idea. First, we just tried to hope he'd forget about it, which didn't happen. Oh man.
So you
But
told him you'd do this for him, and then backed out on it and didn't even talk to him about it. And that was a choice, is what you're telling us.
There was a while of not talking about it, and then we did talk about it. And it seemed like he was okay with it because he said he was okay with it. He said he was happy that we were looking out for him.
Lying.
Yes. Looking out for him in a
Only
way that you had to
said
keep
that.
secret from everyone else.
I only said it because Hardy said something.
And
We were suspicious then, but not suspicious enough.
Hmm.
Seth,
So, oh, go ahead.
I I looked for the answer to what you asked me uh, back in Deathfall. You deserve to know. I didn't exactly say that they should, but I didn't. I did ease their worries about sending you. I didn't know. A lot of people made that decision, and I told them that.
At least you didn't know.
So, who's next?
Well, we
Hmm,
went.
Considering
Hmm?
It was a bit
think
nebulous.
I think it's back to
Nebulous,
Ulrich,
which has just
who
gone to get
Flares
water.
currently.
who had just gone to get water. So back to Sapling,
Yes.
Yay! Oh,
back to Worm.
Back to Wormy.
Mm.
Ugh.
Worm.
Grr. Worm.
The hell are you doing, pal?
Being a worm.
Damn it.
Excellent.
I've had questions. I've been preparing questions before my turns each time, but I got distracted.
That's fair.
I'm gonna begrudgingly pass.
Damn. So who's up next? Seth?
why do you care so much about me and Chiron?
You're. I feel like I've failed you so many times, and I want to make it up to you. And you're so spirited, and I suppose want to. I want you to be happy.
You didn't know you wronged me, though. Not until more recently. before that?
Well, before that, you seemed to hurt a lot, and I it's I help those in pain quite a bit, and I wanted to help you.
Um,
I
he is
still
gonna
want to help
mm,
you.
he is gonna move to sit back down next to Encheiron, but this time on the floor because he feels like sitting in a chair is a bad idea with how he's feeling.
I don't sit back down.
Speaking of Edna, it's your turn. Do you have any questions you'd like to ask?
Nah, we're passing. She's processing some things right now.
Okay. In Chiron, then.
I look across the circle to the centaur in our midst, the thing,
The
like from the
creature.
movie.
Yeah.
Um, would you still like to try going out sometime to go read some books? Try to put this past us. That's things happen, and all we can do is wait for them to change back to things that are better for us.
That that's pitiful. But yeah, why not?
Tomorrow, then.
Sure.
Quickly, before we continue, Sapling, I'd mentioned that there was a tether that you felt. Now, from what you know, it should take a little bit of time. And generally, there is a calm, a togetherness that is felt that comes over on the other end of this tether as the person is slowly consumed by this, by you, in a way. What you begin to feel is, it almost is a vibration. It's erratic. And as you begin to feel that, you look up and you see Seth. And Seth's one eye's twitching ever so slightly, just the eyelid just twitching. And Seth, you don't notice this at all. As far as you know, you're fine. But Sapling, you see this, and you begin to hear in your head this faint, almost maniacal laughter. This isn't the calm, calculating that you're used to, that you are. This is something else. It looks like you when you saw it, but it's not. This isn't right. There's something wrong here. And it
Oh
starts,
no.
that connection, that tether starts to grow. It starts to get stronger, faster than it should. And Seth, that's about when you start to lose motor function in your right arm. As it starts to almost raise in front of your face and turn over and test the fingers. And you're not doing that. Your hand just starts to move like somebody adjusting to a body. and testing the fingers. And Seth, you're not doing that, and you're conscious of that now, and you're conscious of the fact that your eye is... You can only see out of one of your eyes right now. And then you lose complete feeling in one of your legs. And then even you start to hear that faint laughter. And Sapling, at this point for you, it's getting a bit loud. As if there's somebody in the room with you. Do you do anything at this point?
That's a good question.
And Sapling, I'll tell you, because this might influence things. Seth is looking wherever Seth is looking, probably at the hand. The eye that was twitching is separately from the other one looking at you.
That's great.
Yeah. Anything you'd like to do? If not, there's more. But if there's anything you want to do, I want to give you the opportunity before it progresses.
I'm just gonna Seth, are you okay? Are you with us?
Seth looks to you, and at this point, his whole body has stopped any twitching, and he says, "Yes, we are."
That's not right. You're not right.
And as the mouth opens to speak again, all of you hear this at this point. This is no longer in the head. Seth begins to scream. And Sapling, you hear it the loudest, as it's in your head as well. That tether just vibrating like somebody whipping it violently. As you feel the pain as this entity in Seth gets slowly crushed. You feel every excruciating bit of pain, the scream piercing your ears, until it all just stops with a wet pop like a grape. And Seth drops to the ground.
That was bad. That was terrible. I'm not used to feeling pain, so I'm kind of unwell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm holding Seth on the ground because
And
yeah.
Sapling, actually go ahead and make me a con save.
Okay. Okay. Sure thing, boss.
Yep.
Oh, hey, I do have proficiency in con saves. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
you're a
good.
sword.
Oh, yeah, I am. That's true. I got a 16.
A 16?
Yep.
This shriek rattles you. The pain, again, something you said, it's not something you're super used to. So you were in the middle of having a conversation, asking some questions with your friends, and all of a sudden, now Seth's on the ground. You are no longer the worm right now. You are Sapling. You have been snapped back to Sapling, and you don't know what's going on. Seth,
God.
you're now on the ground, and you don't know how you got there. But your headache's gone. Just a little bit of an ache at this point, but it's mostly gone.
Do I have a headache?
Always.
Oh,
Oh, yes.
you have
Yours
any
is pretty
ibuprofen?
bad.
I have a headache.
I got a headache.
Oh yeah, we got some up in the cabinet up there.
Thank you, Valve.
You're welcome.
Why am I on the floor?
I am unsure, really. You were, I. You seem to be the, hmm. What you, got from Richard seemed to activate, and then, you started screaming. I can say that because I have passive 18 insight. And I know my son.
Are you okay? Do you feel okay?
I
Wait, so sorry.
feel fine.
I'm gonna try something that I haven't actually tried to do yet,
Okay.
ever before. I'm gonna try to use my earring of message to talk to the worm while Sapling's in control.
Ooh.
Interesting. I will say,
Ooh.
Sapling, go check your private chat. I sent you something.
I'm
And I
scared.
will say,
That is
is,
from the effect of what just happened.
is everything all right?
I need to look at the wording of message. Hold on. This is an interesting little thing. Once this loads. There we go. Okay. Okay. You can cast this spell through solid objects if you're familiar with the target and know it's beyond the barrier.
A skull is a
Sapling counts as a
solid
barrier. So, yeah, you can. So, Worm, what do you respond?
object. I forgot what was asked.
Are you okay?
And the zone of truth is still. That's funny.
Yeah.
Maybe? No? No? No.
Alrighty then. That's all I can. It's a short message, so.
It
Yeah.
is telepathic anyway. Although, I don't know if it's ever tried to do any of that funny business while non-controlled. That's not important right now.
That is a good point, though. I don't think you have.
Uh, how do you, how do you feel, Seth?
I feel fine. Just confused.
Well, it's good that you're all right. I suppose that you're okay.
I guess so.
Would everyone want to get back to what we were doing, or is this run its course?
I wouldn't mind. I haven't asked a lot of questions.
Oh, yes, certainly. Ask away.
Well, I don't really have many either. I guess it's up to you guys. This
I
is our
have a.
group decision.
I mean, I also have a question more, but not much else.
One
We
more
could,
question around then,
yeah.
Sure.
and I believe it was Ulrich. For
Yes.
I believe it was your turn.
I don't really have questions. Like, I'll pass. I really don't have any.
It's the final question. The pressure is on. Just kidding.
I really don't have any other questions. Like,
Okay. Then it'd be
You're
over
so
to.
lawyer.
I'm loyal.
Then it'd be over to Sapling.
Yay. Hmm. 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 Uh, everyone seems a bit off. And it seems like something happened. So, are we all still friends?
Yes, of course.
I
It's
can't
been
answer.
it's been very stressful.
Just, yeah.
Sapling out here gonna break my heart. Are we still friends? Goddamn. Okay.
Uh, Seth?
Yeah, I don't know why we wouldn't be.
Okay. Just checking.
Speaking of the South,
Speaking of the South, it's over to you.
And Chiron, um, that person that you're meeting later, is that who you have feelings for?
again, it's complicated.
But you have feelings for them.
Of a sort. I'm just I'll say I suppose I must be entirely truthful. Yes, that is who I was referring to with your question earlier.
Well, I think if they do like you back, they'd be lucky. You're a nice guy.
And thank you, Seth.
All right. And last, but not least,
Not.
Mother
I have
Bear.
one more
Oh,
question
you have one
too.
more question? Okay. So not last, Edna. If you have anything else.
Okay, we're just wrapping up the Zone of Truth thing right now.
Basically, just like one
Mhm.
last round of questions. This would be your last one if you have any.
Edna's gonna look at Sapling. You know, when we started this, you asked us all what our favorite colors were. And I don't think you ever said what yours was. We should probably end this on a slightly lighter note than we've been doing.
Mm, my favorite color is uh hmm. I think it's green or purple or yellow or maybe blue or maybe
Okay, how about you think about it for a while? We talk about this later.
okay.
Narrow it down. I believe in you.
Yeah, I'll try to decide.
I also have another question. I'm sorry to spoil the lighthearted mood,
No, you
but
did.
I want to be sure. Seth, are you upset that I couldn't do more for you?
For me, when, how?
Back in the back when I represented for you in court,
No,
it, that
not
it, I thank you.
upset with my parents for agreeing to it. But, I mean, well, we wouldn't be here otherwise, right? If you hadn't convinced them.
Yes, I suppose you wouldn't.
Well, that's it.
Uh,
Oh,
Sapling, I'd like to speak to you more privately for a second.
No, please. No,
yeah.
please.
In the spirit of truth.
No, please. Oh, okay.
That conversation. Oh
Uh,
no.
I
So, yeah.
I suppose we go to the saplings room for this.
Okay.
Um,
Hmm.
hmm, sapling. In one of the longer stints of you being absent, we learned something that you should know.
Okay.
That boulder person that you and Seedling have been, well, more so Seedling, but he hmm, he was killed. If I'm not mistaken, it was by the people that attacked your people.
What? How how do you know?
Uh, we were told by one of them. They were dealt with quite quickly, if I have heard correctly.
Well, uh, well, that that doesn't mean that we know for certain, right? Because it could have been a lie,
It,
right?
I suppose it could have been a lie.
Well, what do you think? You're the lawyer. You're used to having to figure out when people are being
I,
truthful.
I, I think he could have been lying. It's possible.
But is it likely?
It's not likely. I'm sorry.
He he sad. He cry.
I, we haven't told Seedling yet. Uh, I can be there if you want to.
I don't think I can.
That's all right. I am. Yes, I can soon. And
Okay.
that I will give the sapling a big ol' hug.
You'll get a big ol' hug back. You are gripped.
Mhm. Oh, I I kind of feel like my joints crack a bit because sapling's very big and strong, and I have -1 constitution, but I do not
No.
say anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
And you are gripped, and you have tears and other less fortunate fluids all over your
Oh,
shoulder.
I have a. I take out my handkerchief that I usually cough into. If you like it,
I'm sorry.
no, no, it's fine. It's all right.
Oh, it's not fine.
It's not fine. It's okay that you're crying. I have experience and comfort. If you ever need to cry, I can be there for you. Here, or wherever. Not specifically here.
Thank you.
It's not a problem, Sapling.
Um, I think I'm gonna go lay down.
That That's understandable. Do you want to be there when I tell Seedling?
Um, um, I don't think so.
All right.
Okay. And so you go back to your room and lay down. I'll say at this point, at some point during this or before this, Seedling would have let you know, Sapling, that they were going just into town for a little bit, pick up a few supplies that they'd forgotten to get the last time. So they're not currently there. But you go lay down. And I think for right now, that's where we're going to go to break. And then we'll be back in a few minutes. That'll give you a
Yay!
chance to get drink and stuff. one. Hello, and we are back. Okay, so,
Big.
what do we want to do now? At this point, I know our cat is trying to get into the room. That's what I know. She fucking headbutted the door and then just was peeking through the crack, like, you locking me out? What the fuck? Um,
What the
aside from
hell?
that, though, excuse me. Aside from that, though, so Sapling, you have gone to sob uncontrollably in your room.
Yep.
Um, understandably so, at finding out the loss of your father figure. And then the fact that your longtime friend, who also grew up around them, it doesn't know yet.
Yeah, it's really bad. And I'm really going through it. My head feels a bit more clear right now, which, ironically, isn't that great? I don't want to feel these emotions any more strongly than I need to.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that
Yeah,
is an
sorry,
interesting
you're
point.
sorry.
Sometimes that's just how the cookies turn.
Mm-hmm. No, but I think that is an interesting point, and something that is important to note is your head is more clear than it's been in a long time. Noticeably so. So,
Hey.
something to keep in mind. Um, Seth, where would you be currently?
Hiding in Chiron's
In
room,
Chiron's room?
as per about the usual.
Okay. And
He's specifically looking over those flashcards that Sapling gifted him.
I do think, oddly enough, that this trust building exercise did in fact work. I think that we have bonded as a party more.
I
As
don't
much as
disagree.
it was emotionally painful for us, we did it. We communicated.
Against
No,
all
I
of our
agree.
wills, we we did the trust.
Mm-hmm.
Legitimately, it did work. Okay.
That was the point. That's why we did it. Woo.
Seth, do me a favor, just for the hell of it. You're going over flashcards. Make me an intelligence check. It's bad from your face.
Ew.
Two. Not only did you not learn anything new, you seem to have forgotten a few things. Um, you just you're kind of trying to go through and like you see them and you're just you see the order, but when you try to recall, you kind of look at it and you're like, okay. And then you like try to remember it without looking at it. It's like I don't remember that.
I
Um, mm,
I come back into my room after telling the guy, telling Sapling about Boulder, and I take off my suit jacket and kind of like put it somewhere to clean later, and and put on like a nice house robe
for
before.
sure.
Oh, you're looking at the flashcards. Do you need any help?
Yeah, I could actually use some help.
Oh, perfect.
I think I forgot some stuff.
Well, I'm here. I'm here to help. I am going to. Before I start teaching. I'm gonna cast Enhance Ability Intelligence on Seth so that he has a little bit of an easier time learning.
Okay. Now, how long would you say you spend trying to go over this stuff? Like maybe an hour?
I'd say probably an hour.
Okay. Then, Seth, go ahead and make another intelligence check, and that's with advantage, right? Because of enhance ability?
Yes, that is with advantage.
Okay. Meh.
An 11.
In 11. Okay. you're looking at the things you previously had forgotten just a few moments ago, and you're able to, with help from Encheiron, you're able to start to remember those things that you'd forgotten. They're still a little bit shaky, and you'll need some more practice, but you're getting closer to remembering them without help. But as far as learning anything drastically new, still not quite there.
How was your painting?
Oh, oh, I think it went all right.
I've been trying to practice painting myself recently. Would you like to join me? There's plenty of things. I have my own set, and there's the set I got with my father in the workshop, and then there's the set that they already had in their workshop. There's quite a bit of painting going on here.
I wouldn't mind. I'm not that great. I'm able to copy over what I've seen, but
Neither am I. I'm practice.
all right.
I think we'll go to my workshop in my sector, and I can use my own painter's tools while Seth tries out the ones that are in there.
All right. I'm actually curious here because I don't recall.
At least I think there's painter's tools in there. Yeah, I put them in there
Oh,
specifically
yes.
for Chiron to practice. It's
Yeah,
like,
I
who'd
remember.
want these?
Um, excuse me.
Yeah, in the workshop that is my workshop, there's just like a bunch of different like stations around in
Interesting.
for all the different types of tools. There's just like a painting corner, and then there's like a like artifice spot for the tinker. No, I don't have tinker's tools. They have tinker's tools.
The other
But
one.
there's like a leather workers, and then right next to it is the cobbler's place, and just all these different spots.
Okay. Eventually, by the way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a map of this place, and actually I'll get with you on those things, and basically when I make the map, I can put those things in those places. But so you're going and doing some painting. I'm curious, specifically, what type of stuff are you trying to paint?
Well, I suppose still life would be a good place to start. I seem to, I, I know a little bit about it, so I think I will. I don't have that anymore. I need to take it out of my inventory. There. I think I'll take out the various weird kind of magic items and just set them up in a cluster for like still life painting.
Okay. In that case, go ahead. It'll be a wisdom check, and if you have painter's tools proficiency, you can add proficiency.
I do not yet.
Yeah, because I was actually looking like what type of check you could do for painter's tools, and I found somebody who actually had a interesting idea here, which it depends on the type of painting you're trying to do. Something like that would
Oh,
be more
cool.
akin to a wisdom check, because it's more for like accurate still life type of stuff.
Oh, that's 9 for me.
A 9. So you're getting some of the details in, and you get a little bit lost in some of the detail work. Um, to the point of it just kind of loses all detail, if that makes any sense. Um, your your wisdom's pretty good, and so you're seeing all the detail. It's just the transferring of it is the hard part. And Seth, what about you? What are you trying to draw, bud?
He is purposely hiding it from Encheiron as he draws himself and Encheiron.
I love that. I'm gonna say something like that. I'd give you a choice here between charisma or wisdom, because that does fall between two different categories.
Probably wisdom.
Okay. I figured that's what you do, but that, yeah, because it is a person, so you could be looking at the two of you using either a mirror for yourself or what have you, and then just looking at Encheiron, but you could also just going for more of a off the noggin.
You know what's funny?
Hmm.
I also rolled a 9.
Got a 9 total?
Yeah.
You know, it's this is one of those ones you're kind of doing the similar thing. You're looking over, but you're also trying to hide it. And so you're like kind of off to the side, and you're not getting all the stuff in there as good as you could. Plus, you're new to painting like this, to doing stuff that isn't something you've just copied before. And so it's not as good as it could be. Like you can look at it and know, okay, that's supposed to be like you in the picture. It's very obvious who you are because there's some very noticeable features. For in Chiron, it's kind of that could be in Chiron, or that could also be that guy way over there. Yeah, no, that's about right. But it's not bad. Could be worse.
While we're in here, I think I'd like to show you something. I kind of walk over to the cobbler's tools place and kind of gesture him to join because
He'll join.
this is what I mainly do to one of the things I do to help people. I make shoes and well, my father was a is quite talented at making shoes as well. He makes beautiful ones. Very artsy. And like to see if I, I'd like to see try and teach you just something about it. Something that so I also want to try to help Seth learn cobbler's tools.
Okay. Um, a note for you, by the way. At this workstation, there is what looks to be the beginning of a pair of shoes that do look like your father's handiwork, and there's just a note next to it that says "Do not touch," and they're like off to the side. Um, and so you can see that the tools are getting use already. Um, but if you want to go ahead and use those, um, so let me ask you, do you want to have Seth do most of the work and you're just guiding through, or are you kind of doing the work and showing?
I think since we're just starting out, I'd probably do most of the work and show Seth how to do it before we would start doing him mainly and then me guiding.
Okay, okay,
So, like, first, since we're right starting out, I will do most of the work and just show Seth the process.
okay. I would say go ahead and make it'd be a dexterity check, with proficiency if you have proficiency, which I believe you
I
do.
do have proficiency in cobbler's tool. That is a natural one for a total of
Okay.
6, but it is a natural one.
Mm. Okay. Here's what I'll say. Um, when teaching somebody something, it is a lot easier to make mistakes than if you were doing it yourself and focused on it. I can speak that from experience. So this isn't a lack of skill. It's just simply you're going slower, not as efficiently as you could. Um, and there are
Thinking about
simple
it too
mistakes.
much.
Thinking about it too much. So there are some mistakes made, but that is a learning experience in itself because then you can show these are mistakes to not make.
This is quite a poor example, but this is the general gist of how to use these.
I mean, I've seen the stuff you can do. I mean, you've made me 2 pairs, which I'm sorry I haven't worn them.
Oh, no, it's all right. I know you're not entirely comfortable. I just want to give you the option if you need to.
I probably should start. It's cold.
All right. It it might be a good idea. I just wanted to pass this on to you as well.
I'll try.
Good, good. Ray.
You're not mad at me, right?
Why would I be mad at you?
For the decisions I make.
The decisions you make are your own decisions. I do wish you'd come to me to help make them, especially with big ones, but I'm not mad at you for making them.
As long as you're not. You're not, disappointed either, are you?
No, I'm not disappointed. And I think that's probably seen because we're having a very long pause.
Okay, okay. So, um, some father-son bonding. And you don't pay me to have ideas. You don't pay me at all. Okay. So, well, let's see. I have one thing that I have really planned, but it's going to be like one of the last things to happen. So until then, um, okay. Um, I'm going to say so something that you guys would have had to do, and this would have been something just kind of happening in the background. In Chiron, you were the main one that was come to for this by Max, as far as like the diagrams and going over stuff, figuring out how the place worked. But occasionally, you may have been asked to help with routine maintenance of the place, basically just helping with chores, right? That would have been something they would have just been like during downtime, just like help with chores. Um, so uh, I think actually now I'd like to actually role play out one of those. Um, this could be during the same day. Basically, once there's a little bit of downtime, maybe a couple hours after a lot of this stuff has happened. I'd say in Chiron, you are gotten by Max, and you are asked to help with the engine, which is something that you were actually helping decide on because there was the elemental within. Um, and I don't recall, had you chosen to do away with that?
I had said that I would rather do away with it because it might be sentient in there, because it is a very powerful fire elemental.
Okay, excuse me. So, with that being said, you are at some point brought down to that area, and Max gives you kind of a good view of it, because you'd only seen the paperwork and the diagrams and stuff. Seeing it in person is a little different. You have to go through many doors, down many flights of stairs, into the belly of this place. And despite the fact that you know there to be a fire elemental and this is an engine, it is very cold down there. And Max actually warns you of that so you can bundle up. It's very cold. To the point where there's a little bit of frost gathering on the metal walls on the inside. And he looks to you and says, so I may have found what's the word? A replacement. Every time we do want to move this place, as in walk it somewhere, we will have to refuel it each time. But I can turn this into a standard furnace, just removing the elemental, but I will need some assistance.
Yes, of course.
You're good at talking with people, correct?
I'd say so. It was part of my purview.
All right, well, I'm less so. Not quite my thing. So, I'm going to break its chains. And I'm going to guide it into a sort of vessel that'll be a little more comfortable for it until we can find a better place for it. I need you to try to convince it to go in. Coax it, if you will. I already know where to send it. I plan to send it to the Plane of Fire, which I have a few contacts, planewalkers and such, that can do that sort of thing. But it'll be a few days before I can. So basically, I just need you to get it out of there and in here.
All right, I will do my best. And before I actually do this, I'm going to cast Enhance Ability Charisma on myself so that I'm a bit better at convincing.
All right. So, he's going to first open up the hatch. Now, what you see inside is it just appears like this roiling inferno, swirling and twisting. But you can very visibly see two bluish chains that attach from the walls of this container into this mass. And at that point, he's going to speak a few words. One of them is going to fade. And he's going to look to you and say, now would be the time.
Yes, hello there. I don't have, I do not have, like, any, I don't speak Primordial, so I'm just gonna say it in common.
That's fair.
Hello, we're going to get you out of this. You're not going to be powering this thing anymore. But you're going to have to trust us. We have a different vessel for you here, and we can release you back home. If you would just... We're going to set you free. We have a different vessel for you here, and we will let you out in just a little bit of time.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
I get advantage on this because of my enhance ability.
Now, I will say, before you roll, this is a flat roll because you're using enhanceability. Since we're speaking in common.
Since I'm speaking in common.
Yes, so it is a flat roll, negating any disadvantage.
That's a good roll. That is a 21.
21. This mass, there's no verbal response But as the second chain breaks, it begins to go towards the opening of the furnace that it resided within, and begins to move within the smaller vessel that Max is holding, which you can see on his face, visibly pained as the intense heat so close. But as it goes within, he closes it within, puts it on his belt, and says, "And now we just need to not open that until it's leaving."
Yes.
That you did good, despite the fact that you couldn't speak its language, which I guess I should have asked first. But you know what? It worked. That's what matters, right?
That is what matters. Yes.
All right. Well, thank you. So just in case you need to work this, or I'm not around, uh, this at this point just works like a standard furnace. And he basically walks you through how to load it and everything, and then light it, and at that point you give instructions to Valve as normal and a destination, and it'll move. A little more tiresome, but all in all, safer.
Safer and more humane, I would think.
Much. At that point, I think. Let's see. Seth, I'll just do you next since you're next on the screen. Excuse me. I'm gonna say Byron. So big minotaur wearing the robes of a scholar walks up, knocks on the door, to in Chiron's room, and you hear in your head before the door opens, "It is Byron. Could I enter, please?"
Door's open.
And door opens and kind of hunches his head, walks through the doorway. Could you help me, please?
What exactly?
I need fast hands. Something is stuck down in the lower levels. I cannot remove it.
I can try.
He nods and motions for you to follow as he starts walking. So he leads you down into some of the lower levels, and actually you would pass by where Chiron is currently, and you see the roiling inferno going into the thing, and Byron looks and motions you to keep following. And you go down and down lower, and you actually get into an area that even he's having a bit of a hard time making it through, and eventually so are you. It's very tight down here. It's not meant for people to really be. Walkways change and just become kind of walking on machinery. This clearly wasn't something that anyone was ever meant to really be down. But you make your way. And for you, it's not that bad hopping along, but for him, he's struggling a little bit. And kind of occasionally, like, magically, just kind of like gives himself a little bit of a boost to make it through. But eventually, you reach this room. Despite the fact that down here there's been no walkways or anything, it's, again, not meant for people very much. This is a room. 4 walls, ceiling, and a floor with a handful of what look like pistons moving up and down through the room. And one of them seems to be locked in place. And that one is causing the others to stop as well. So it's got some gears attached, and they're just kind of all stuck in place. And he looks to you, and in your head you hear, "I will hold in place so that you, Jesus, I will hold in place so that it does not harm you. The last time we had to do this, someone almost lost an arm, so I will hold it in place. Just reach in when it is moved and grab and pull quick, and I will make sure it does not slam shut. Okay?
If I lose an arm, it really wouldn't be a problem, but thanks, I guess.
Okay, then I won't hold it.
I mean, if you hold it, is there a possibility you get hurt?
If I don't hold it, or if I do?
You do.
I could pull my shoulder.
Okay. And he'll get up in there, I guess.
Okay. Let me see. So you do have to make a couple checks here because it is up high. So, and you're short. That's not me making a jab at Seth's height. That's just the fact of the matter.
He climbed. He fine.
So you climb. So go ahead and make you can do acrobatics or athletics. Whichever you prefer.
19, it's acrobatics. He's totally not making a show of it on purpose.
Of course not. Excuse me. Ah, man. So, okay. So you're up there at this point. And Byron's holding it in place, kind of just as a precaution. Because essentially what you can kind of see here is he's not holding anything down because it's stuck in the down position. But when you pull this thing loose, it'll shoot upwards. And so, like he said, might pull his shoulder, but you, if your arm or your person was in there, would get smooshed. So, at this point, how do you want to go about this? You can see it is basically just a metal rod of some kind, just like a piece of junk metal that's been jammed in there. How do you want to go about? Do you want to, because you could do it in a strength based way. You could attempt to try something else if you have like an ability or something that you want to try during this. You have options here. Mainly what I would say to do is like an athletics check, but I'm giving you option, like see if you have something else.
How big would you say said item is?
It's a great question.
Is it tiny? Is it small?
No, I would say, that's weird. I would say small.
Okay, can't do the thing I was thinking.
Because tiny would be like dagger size, small is like a couple feet. It's probably like a couple foot long pole. If you can't think of anything, again, it'd be an athletics check just to pull it out.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to do athletics. Fine.
Okay.
That's a 1.
1 total?
Yeah, I have a -1 to my
And you rolled a 2.
athletics. Yeah, I rolled a 2.
Damn. Yikes. Okay. So. Okay. So you grab it and you pull and it shifts. Does not fully come out, but what you see happen is it kind of twists, and the force that's being exerted on it just kind of bends it a little bit, and your arm kind of gets a little bit stuck in there. It doesn't get fully cut off because the metal rod is still in there. But now you have a choice. Because your arm is a lot softer than the metal rod. So you could remove the metal rod and bye-bye arm, but everything gets working again. Or you remove your arm and possibly not be able to get this thing out. Because your arm is now damaged, you'd have to wait for it to heal and then try and remove it again. You have other options too. Those are just...
Here's a question. Is Byron actively watching him? Or can he even see him where he is?
Where you are right now, he can see you. And this has just happened, so he has not even reacted yet.
He's just gonna take the piece of metal out. He does not give a shit. He's lost arms before. He'll be fine.
Okay. Okay. Well, like was said in No Mike, bye-bye arm. You yank, and using the force, just pushing against it, yank it out, and arm go smoosh. Yeah. Byron does kind of make a little bit of a noise, both at what just happened to you, but also, again, it did pull the shoulder a bit. Just he was holding it pretty tightly, and it just went as it went upward. And then do you drop? Because you'd still be able to hold on with the arm you had. Yeah, I'm not going to go into gory detail, but yeah, it basically just it becomes one with the machine. And yeah, it cuts it off about just below the shoulder. Just below. It kind of got dragged in a little bit and then ripped. So just below the shoulder. And you hear in your head, "Are you okay? Are you going to be okay? I know you're resilient, so I'm not sure."
He just kind of stares for a second. It'll be fine. I've lost more than that.
Nods. Okay. Do you need a bandage? Healing spell?
Let's keep this between you and I that this happened. And he's gonna use one of his heals.
Gonna use one of your heals.
Yep.
Okay.
That's why he said keep it between him and Byron. Because
And correct me if I'm wrong, that will grow the limb back, correct?
no, that still takes
That
time
does
from what I
take time.
remember.
It does.
This just basically stops it from actively being a problem. If it were a smaller cut, it would heal it over, though.
Okay.
I believe that's how we...
That is correct. I'm, again, I'm loopy as shit right now. Okay. So, fair enough. With that being said, you're going to do that. It's no longer actively bleeding and things. He's going to say, I do not know how this will be kept between us because you are missing an arm, but sure.
Well, the missing arm thing, obviously not. But the thing I just did to stop that, we're not going to talk about that. If anyone asks, you used healing magic.
Just shrugs. Okay.
So is that all you needed?
Yes.
Cool.
Okay.
He's
yes.
just gonna go try to find Chiron again and bug him as per his usual.
Okay. And Chiron's finished up his thing. And you go and bug in Chiron.
Oh, what happened to you?
What do you mean?
Your arm.
Oh, yeah. That Byron had me help with some stuff. It kind of got stuck in the machinery.
Oh. Speaking of, I don't like bustle past Seth, but I'm assuming Byron is about the same spot.
Yeah.
I received this for Christmas, and I'd be willing to lend it to you. I, it can, I think it can regrow parts of you that are missing.
Huh. And this is to Byron, you're saying this?
Yeah, this is to Byron.
Ah. He looks at it. You're holding out the ring.
Yes, the ring.
He looks at it. You hear in your head, would be nice. Although, I think he would need it more. Pointing to Seth missing the arm.
He has interesting abilities to. He's very durable. It'll take about the same amount of time for each. It could help the process.
Would not turn it down. And he will take it. I will give back.
Yes, it'll take 1d6 plus 1 days.
Ooh. Okay. Do you mind rolling that for me?
Sure, yeah, I can roll that. That'll be. I rolled max, so that's a week.
That's fine.
But yeah,
Okay.
I will
Well,
give it up. I will give it up for a week so that Byron can have a tongue again.
Hell yeah. Oh my god, I didn't even think whoa, I didn't even fucking think about that. Whoa. That's sick.
What's Byron gonna do
Okay.
with that tongue?
Well, I'd do something he hasn't done in a long time, apparently.
Taste.
Oh my.
Oh my god, you're right. It's gonna be wild.
Just taste.
It would just taste. Maybe. Maybe. Okay. That's wild. Okay. So, yeah. I think at this point, I do want to go over to Edna. So, Edna, what would you be doing about this time?
I want to make you like, what's the word I'm looking for? Role play a bunch of NPCs because my entire plan with Edna was to just help out with the chores.
Oh, okay.
Because she wanted to try to avoid the rest of the party for a brief period to let herself like feel less pissed off.
That's fair. Well, here's what I'm thinking. I am gonna end a little early today. Not super soon, but like, here's what I'll say. I want to role play that out. Probably next session though, because I do want to RP out more with this group. But that's gonna be difficult.
Put a pin in this until next time.
Yeah, so that's what I'll do there. But I do want to go through that, especially because I like this group. This group is good. Okay. So put a pin in that for now. And then, Sapling, what would you be doing currently?
Being sad in my room. That's
Being
it.
sad in your room. Okay.
Not gonna do anything.
That is fair and valid. Okay. Okay. You know what? Here's what I think. I think we're gonna end about 10 minutes or so. End about an hour early just because I'm fucking zoinked. But anyway, that's how it be. But before we do, Um, how to put this? Yeah. Well, a couple things before we end. One, Seth. No, I gotta end with you. That's too good of a point to end on. Um, okay, so first off, sapling. Eventually seedling does return, and just has like a basket of goodies and all kinds of stuff. Has some like foodstuffs that are gonna get put in the pantry and all that kind of stuff, and sees you're really sad and is just doesn't even ask why, just kind of like comes over and is like trying to be comforting and like comfort the horse. Um, doing their best, but not really knowing what to do. Uh, but also not wanting to ask. Um, do you wish to say anything to them? Or do you just let them comfort?
I'm not gonna say anything.
Not gonna say anything. Okay. And so, that goes on for a bit. I'll say, in Chiron, you do get, at some point during the day, you do get the notice of wishing to reschedule the date for another day, from your rival
Yeah,
friend,
the
possibly
catching up.
someday lover. Yeah, the catching up, yeah. Rescheduling
The
for possibly the
unnecessary
next day.
feelings haber. I mean, what?
What? Um, so yeah, there's that. What else? What else? Trying to make sure I get everything, so that things are good for next session. I think this will be last thing really for now that I can think of, and then if there's something I forgot, we'll start off with it next time. Um, Seth, you've lost an arm. Now, usually it does take a few days for it to grow back. Can take up to a week sometimes. Actually, I'm curious. What is the rules for the ring? It's like 1d6 plus 1.
It is 1d6 plus 1.
I don't know. Did we have rules for that already? If not, we're just going to use that. I don't think we
I
did.
don't think we did.
We just kind of went very abstract with it. We're going to say it's a d6 plus 1. Let's put actual rules on it. Roll a d6 for me, Connor, and then add 1 to whatever that is.
4.
So, 4 days. So I think by the end of today, because all of that happened about midday, by the end of this day, you would start to notice it starting to grow back. Something you immediately notice, and I don't know how Seth would feel about this. Your skin is normally bluish in color, and when it starts to grow back, it might have a slight pinkish hue, making it more of like a purplish. This is pinkish tan. It's more flesh colored. It's not your normal skin color. It's well, honestly closer to your parents. Closer to what you conjured up in that illusion when you were going and spying on Hardy. However Seth feels about that is up to you, but an important detail.
Used.
Fair enough. Well, I think that's where we're going to go ahead and end tonight, because I'm going to go die. So hope you all enjoyed. One thing I want to say, really quickly before we do, I don't normally get into political things, although I do want to just say, and this is my opinion, not dragging anyone else here in with me. If you see something around you like a protest or something and you want to go to it, you should. I personally went to one this week, and it's good. It's a good thing to do, at least to stand up for your community, if not your nation. Fuck fascists. So yeah, I have opinions, but I'll see y'all next week. Goodbye.